Hey everyone, my name is Emma and welcome back to Emma's Story Central, your center for all the best stories on Reddit. Am I an idiot for telling my girlfriend that being depressed is not an excuse for being lazy? I, 29, have always supported my girlfriend, 23. We have been together for 4 years now and lived together for 1. She has always had anxiety as well as depression where some months are worse than others. I have supported her through all of this and understand it is very hard for her. In January, she lost her job due to the current world's circumstances. By March, she hit a low point with not eating as much, crying, irritability, typical traits of depression. I have comforted her as much as possible and taken care of everything. However, at the beginning of June, I was allowed back to work, and since the house has fallen to shambles, I am too tired by the time I come home to do anything, even cook. Most nights we order takeout, and on the rare occasion she makes food. The floors aren't being washed, hoovering isn't being done, laundry is a mountain, and dishes are everywhere. I try to keep on top of it, but with work it is almost impossible. She is home all day. She lies in bed till late afternoon, watches Netflix, eats bowls of cereal, and naps. That's about it. I've tried to gently coax her to do more, and she says she will get to it but never does. I finally snapped, told her I was sick of her doing nothing all day and leaving the housework to me. That if she is here and I am working, she needs to be pulling her weight. She got upset and said that she wants to but she can never find the motivation, that she is tired all the time. I said I understood she was depressed, but it isn't an excuse to do nothing and be lazy. No one likes housework, but I won't make any more excuses about it. She needs to start doing it or leave. Next day I come home to a clean house and a note from her saying she was sorry and is going to stay with her mother. Her mom helped her clean before they left. I tried calling but she wouldn't pick up. When I rang the house, her mother answered and had a lot to say. She was furious, telling me about how she is struggling and I am making her worse, that I should be supporting her, not ignoring that she is in a bad place, and so on. I was told my GF had been crying all day in her bedroom and I feel awful. I never wanted to hurt her, I just snapped. I tried to get her mother to give my GF the phone but she wouldn't speak to me. It feels like a lose-lose situation. On one hand, I know depression results in lack of motivation and cleanliness. And on the other hand, I can't stand to see our home in such chaos. I've never had depression, so I can't say for sure how bad it truly is. That's why I find it more difficult to 100% empathize. Am I an idiot for telling her depression isn't an excuse? Extra info: she has a therapist and talks regularly with them. Her depression is worse since losing her job. Usually she is quite clean and tidy. We don't usually have this issue. She is looking for a job despite depression, etc. I have enough money to support us both in the meantime. Update: ultimately I realized that the majority of the blame was mine. I never ever should have called her lazy because that isn't what she is. I lashed out and I shouldn't have. She stayed with her mother's for a few days and we eventually met up to talk. I told her how it just got too much for me, but it was no excuse for lashing out and I apologized. She apologized also, not that she needed to, and we talked for a long while about how we can make our relationship work. I expressed my concerns over her therapist, who is very against anything other than talking therapy. She agreed that he didn't seem to really have her best interest at heart and she is currently looking for someone new. For now, I suggested she stop looking for work. She got a lot of rejections and I could see it was upsetting her more. I just felt we should take a step back from that and I want her to focus a little more on herself. She was unsure as she felt bad that I would be working for both of us, but I assured her it is fine. I make enough to support us both quite comfortably. I also suggested maybe she could volunteer at some point just to get her out and get some more stuff on her resume. I'm no therapist, so these were just suggestions, but it has seemed to have taken some of the pressure off her, which is all I wanted. We agreed that being in the apartment all day alone and in bed is not good for her. So, we came up with a plan that she does an exercise video 3 times a week. It's only a 10-minute one, just so she is doing something. She has found she likes doing them, they make her feel a bit better after, and has started something called yin yoga now too. To help me, she has 1 chore a day to do. I don't care what it is. It could be dishes or it could just be putting the laundry in the hamper. This rule has at least gotten her out of bed for part of the day, and she's found that once she starts, she sometimes ends up doing more than one thing. I make sure to show my appreciation for whatever she has done, no matter how small it was. We have set out that every Sunday we will have a deep cleaning day where we get everything done for the week. This has been surprisingly successful. We make it fun and just mess around while still getting things done. It makes the week a lot more manageable when we only have light chores to keep on top of. She is trying more, and I am also working on being more supportive about her depression. I'm researching it more and learning ways I can help her because it is a part of her. We are both putting more effort in and communicating a lot better. I hope we keep making progress because I do love her very much and want us to work. No idiots here. I feel for both you and her. It's not easy dealing with someone who has depression, just as it's not easy for that person to be dealing with depression. It's not fair on you to bear that emotionally, and it's not fair to her to have someone pushing her. I think you both need to reevaluate and probably take a break or just break up. She doesn't seem okay to be in a relationship right now with what she's dealing with. No idiots here. Coming from a girl who almost ruined her relationship because of her depression and anxiety, she needs to stop relying on you and gain some independence, and she needs to figure out how to do that on her own. I was relying on my boyfriend the first time we lived together, and I just never got better. We almost broke up but decided to instead no longer live together and basically start over. I moved into my mom's while I looked for my own place, got a roommate, and I got better. It's not that way for everyone, and it's really, really hard. But if she's relying on you, or anyone else for that matter, then she'll just coast through her depression. Once it becomes a matter of survival, she'll have no choice but to handle it. For me, once I started seeing my accomplishments with zero help, it built my confidence and independence and made me feel better. My boyfriend and I are now way happier than we've ever been in our relationship and are looking forward to our future together. This is great to hear. Depression-induced inability to get out of bed is a vicious circle, and having you there to help her both be accountable but also as her support is super important. It's good to see that you've been able to change your behavior, which in turn will help her as well. If she's enjoying doing online fitness and yin yoga, I highly recommend the YouTube channel Yoga with Adrienne. She does a lot of slow yin style lessons, in addition to specific ones for people with depression and anxiety that are great. Now for the next story. One of my, male 29 best friends, Carla, female 31, is getting married soon. It's only meant to be a small backyard type of wedding, but they've been planning it for a few months now, and originally it was supposed to be on my property. They wanted it because it's private, has lots of open space for the reception, a nice view, and the house could be used for them to get ready and stuff. Of course I said yes. She and her fiance Rick were very happy. Thing is, Carla and I do have a history. We went out on and off in college but decided to stay friends. Then I met my wife. We got married. Carla met Rick, and now here they are. Now my wife knows I went out with Carla back in college, and she didn't care. Carla still went to our wedding and everything. I never knew if Rick was told or not. It's not my relationship, therefore not my business to say anything, so I never did. Rick found out recently, and not in the best way. Not sure how, but from what I heard from friends is that one mutual friend told him, no idea why, we used to date. Not only that, but apparently Carla said a couple years ago she was still in love with me when she was already dating Rick. Don't have actual confirmation if that's exactly what he was told. All Carla's told me is that Rick was told about our past, and he's angry at her for never saying anything. It became quite a drama, and I didn't hear from her for over a month until now. She told me they're going to couples counseling and that the wedding is still on. But Rick requested that I not attend. It sucks, but I totally get why he wouldn't be comfortable. Then I asked the obvious question, where are they going to hold the wedding then? To my surprise, she said they still want it at our place. Rick said so too, and in my mind I'm going, he doesn't want the guy who dated his fiancée years ago at the wedding, but still wants the wedding at his house. My wife and I are expected to just not be at our home that weekend, and I told Carla no. They're going to have to find someplace else, since we're not going to simply leave our home to them for the weekend. Not only for safety reasons, but it just doesn't make sense. Rick doesn't want me around because he's not comfortable, but is comfortable enough to have their wedding at my house. They really want their wedding here though, and because of that I've been bugged by not only her but also Rick and some friends who think I'm being a petty idiot for not letting them have the wedding here anymore. Honestly, don't think that I am. It just doesn't make sense at all to have to leave our own place for a wedding we're no longer welcome to, and leaving our home totally vulnerable. Still, being accused of sabotaging their wedding, Rick believes it's the least I can do after everything. Am I an idiot? Not an idiot. Rick doesn't want to get married anymore, but doesn't want to be the bad guy breaking up with his fiancée, so he's put her in an impossible position so he can get sympathy when they split. Not an idiot. What a weird request. Do you typically host wedding receptions on your property? He can go pay for a venue if he's going to act like that, if they even end up getting married.